Compression fractures in your spine can be common, especially with people who have osteoporosis. In this sponsored segment this morning, we say hello to neurosurgeon Dr. Jared Schell, here to explain more about kyphoplasty, a minimally invasive procedure that can help reduce pain. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Let's dive right into this. Talk a little bit more about what kyphoplasty is.
Well, what kyphoplasty is a procedure where patients who have miserable pain after a fall, usually in the elderly, crack their spine, and it is done to alleviate the pain and get people back up without needing many medication.
Yeah, so you brought a little show and tell for us this morning. What are we looking at? How is this procedure done?
Well, this is the so-called balloon procedure in the spine, which people commonly ask about. And it's a very simple procedure. It's actually probably one of the best procedures that we do in spine surgery.
So I'll hold up this part here. So what are we looking at here?
Well, this is a device where we actually inject a dye and cement into a fracture, which will help alleviate the back pain and reduce the fracture. And it's all done through a needle.
Sure.
So what happens here is that the patient's given an anesthetic, and we simply put a needle into the spine without any incision, and then through the needle we place a balloon.
Okay.
A balloon through the needle, like so. So that's placed into the fracture, and you can see at the end of this needle, as we turn up,
it's like a pressure gauge.
The pressure gauge.
Yeah.
You can actually see how the balloon goes and builds up the fracture.
Gotcha.
So that builds up the fracture and reduces the spine.
Well, typically, how long does this surgery take, and what setting is this done in?
Oh, this is a procedure that is done in the office. It's about a 5-minute procedure.
Really?
And usually patients go home within about a half an hour.
Really?
Yes.
Well, and talk about, is this something where people get immediate relief?
Yes, it's probably one of the best procedures, and it's almost like a miracle in terms of our spinal patients, because usually they're so miserable they can barely walk, and within about 10 minutes after the procedure they can walk without pain. And the cement that's put into the body after the balloon is inserted seals within about 5 minutes, and then there's absolutely no pain.
Wow.
And generally people go home without any restriction immediately.
So what is the recovery? Easy then?
It's a very easy recovery. In fact, there are really no restrictions the afternoon of the procedure.
And how is this an alternative maybe to other options out there?
Well, the other options are to simply wait to see whether the fracture will heal on its own, and sometimes they'll be braced and take medication. Yeah, sometimes the fractures do heal and patients recover, but many times they don't, and the spine bends and people are left with chronic pain. The importance about this procedure, it needs to be done within the first 3 months of the fracture in order for it to work.
Important information to keep in mind.
It's very important to, if you have a fall with severe pain, to get an x-ray to see if you have one of these, because they need to be treated rather quickly, or the person will be left with chronic pain.
All right, interesting information on kyphoplasty. For more information as well, you can go to the website or call the number you see there on your screen with Schell Spinal Care there. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.